So welcome. Today we're going to be looking at a variety of things. I wanted to look at the weird phenomenon that is weird old white dudes being mad at Brie Larson. There's just an endless amount of Brie Larson content. Also, I pulled up Blair White. We might cover her. We got some MGTOW people I haven't covered in a while. And, of course, the king of Brie Larson fan channels, The Quartering, has a new vid out about Brie Larson's YouTube channel. So I hope you're doing well. Thank you, KJ No, for following. This video where The Quartering's like, Brie Larson's YouTube channel collapses and media desperately promoting her again. I think The Quartering's mad because I actually pulled up Brie Larson's channel for this. I don't watch Brie Larson's channel. I'm not really interested in celebrity YouTube channels, but hey, whatever. I don't really care that they exist. Brie Larson, in the 2 or so months that she's had a channel, yeah, her first video was 2 months ago, she's up to 426,000 subscribers, which is almost half of what Jeremy's at. So at this rate, in, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, I'm sure it's going slower now than it did initially, but nonetheless, at some point she's gonna eclipse Jeremy. And I think his brain might explode the day that happens. Also, if you look at her average view counts, they're typically better than Jeremy's. Now, of course, this is gonna happen when you have a channel that produces less content. Like, it looks like she puts roughly 1 video out a week or something like that, whereas Jeremy puts, 5 or 6 videos out a day, which is fine. I do the same. But, like, Jeremy's videos, they get, this one's high because it's a Brie Larson one, so it's 287,000. Those are like his most popular videos. But if we take a look at his averages, he's averaging, I don't know, let's go a few days ago. Like this Tim Pool video got 126. This one got 46,000. This one got 94, 99, 58, 55. You have your standouts that are in the 200,000s, but they're not very common. Whereas on Brie Larson's channel, even though she has half the subscribers of Jeremy, she's averaging in the 200,000s after a week, right? The only one that's under is this one from 4 days ago that's already at 131,000. So the point I'm trying to make is, I don't really care about Brie Larson's channel one way or another. I'm not even subscribed. Like, it's just not content that I'm really interested in. But boy, is Jeremy mad that Brie Larson's channel is technically doing better than his, Thank you. Let's see. A Colston with 25 bits. Are you covering Baz FZZ? Really hate that guy and I love when you take him down. Maybe. I'm not sure if he did anything new that I gotta watch. Maya is bored. Don't know if it's fitting for this stream, but when you have a stream, where would it would fit? Would you watch classically Abby's video on how to drink like a lady? It's cringy as fuck. I've been wanting to do more Abby Shapiro. Did Jake cover that though? I thought he covered some classically Abby thing recently. KJ No, thank you for subscribing. And then Daddy Sume, Jeremy's reaction to Brie Larson eclipsing him. Oh, it's the...
I would like to scan all of you at a time.
Yeah. Okay, I can only... Is the scanner's head blowing up scene TOS? Because it is a head blowing up, but it's a movie. I'm not gonna risk it. Everyone knows the scanner's head blow up gif. Just pretend you saw that. I definitely don't think I can show that on YouTube. And also, for the millionth time, I really can't show movie clips in the first place unless they're like 5 seconds long. You guys, you gotta stop sending me movie clips to show. I can't do it unless it's like in the public domain or if it's like a 5-second long clip. Anyway, I don't know. What should we start with? Do we want to start with The Quartering? I've been talking about The Quartering. Let's start with The Quartering talking about Brie Larson. I'm as obsessed with Jeremy's obsession with Brie Larson as he is obsessed with Brie Larson. Forgot to do it with the timestamp. I was just going to have you watch them cringing and overreacting. I'm not sure I can watch the scanner's head blow up thing anyway, considering how gory it is. Again, I know it's a movie, but I don't know what Twitch's, like, policy on that kind of thing is. And I'm not gonna risk it. Oh god, here's a clip of a Captain America movie. Gonna skip over it.
Not away anytime soon.
Well, you know, I've got to pay my monthly penance. You know, it's almost the end of the month.
Are we doing the other guy that reacted to Brie? I do have him pulled up. Yes, we'll do him after this.
We're just 500 subscribers away from 900,000 subscribers. I'm pushing hard. If we can hit...
How long has the quartering been going at this? Hold on, let me look. Social Blade, the quartering. So Jeremy, this is Jeremy's YouTube statistics. Oh, his monthly video views, like, tanked in August. That's weird. Wonder why. Maybe he didn't put out enough Brie Larson content. I don't know. Anyway, subscribers. So he's been going since 2017, October of 2017. So almost exactly 3 years, at least according to Social Blade. So it's taken him almost 3 years to get to 900,000 subscribers, which is quite good. If you can get to 1 million subscribers almost in 3 years, you're doing a really good job on YouTube. Like, I'm not making fun of Jeremy for that. It's more subscribers than I've ever had or ever will have, and that's fine. I don't get that sweet, sweet outrage right-wing viewership that he's going to get. But anyway, it's taken him 3 years to get here. How long did it take him to get to 400,000? I'm curious, just because that's where Brie Larson's at. She's at like 430,000, right? Can we go back further? That's 2020. Total subscribers for the quartering. It doesn't go back further, though, but we know he was at 600,000 in August of 2019, so it took him quite a while. Here we go. This will show. 330, 420. So it took him about 2 years to get to 420,000 subscribers. It's taken Brie Larson a little over 2 months to get that much. So I think he's a little mad about it. I think he's pretty salty, but, you know. It is what it is. How much money does Jeremy make? I guess I shouldn't assume, because I imagine a lot of his videos get demonetized. I could be wrong, though. I think he's talked about being demonetized before, though. I understand why. I wouldn't want to put ads on Jeremy's videos if I were a corporate person who was trying to shill, I don't know, Pepsi or something. So between 54,000 and 876,000 a month. I assume it's on the lower end, considering how often he probably gets demonetized.
900K today, we actually have a real chance at hitting 1 million by the end of the year. So if you haven't yet, and you enjoy the videos, please take a moment to click that red subscribe button down below. If you don't have a YouTube account, create one. Subscribe.
If Jeremy's going to get his 1 million subscriber plaque, he should definitely hang it somewhere high up in his basement so he doesn't accidentally pee on it.
So you get notified. Now, it also...
Obo1 with 100 bits. Don't forget Jeremy had a Magic the Gathering channel for a few years prior to the opening of the quartering. Oh yeah, did that get... It was Unsleeved Media or something? Does that still exist? Does he still do that? I know he ended up getting banned from Magic tournaments and stuff, so maybe he had to stop. I don't know.
Being the end of the month, that means I've got to make my monthly payment towards the Brie Chud, and I must cover the glorious Brie Larson. Now, of course...
Thank you, Synthrat. Thank you for following. Sorry, it's like the vanity license plates. I can never break up the words correctly in my brain.
Want to be clear that I actually enjoy Brie Larson a lot.
Weirdly, I do think Jeremy's hate of Brie Larson has probably turned into some sort of weird obsession in a real way for him. I don't know why. I think it's probably because he knows it's like a Schrodinger, or not Schrodinger. It's like what's the guy's name? He did the classical conditioning. You ring the bell, the dog salivates. Oh god. Why am I not being able to remember his name? Anyway, it's like that where when he does Brie Larson videos and talks about Brie Larson, he gets a ton of views and makes a bunch of money. And he starts associating that, like, serotonin release with Brie Larson, and now he unironically loves her. I don't know. I feel like the same thing's probably going to happen to me and Jeremy. So, Pavlov, thank you.
I'm a big fan, probably the biggest fan on YouTube based on video counts.
That's probably true.
Every time I make one of these videos, hundreds of new people come into my video feeds and dislike it because they just can't handle how much I love Brie Larson.
Or they're weirded out by this 40-year-old man who's obsessed with one random actress. It's probably that one.
Apparently her YouTube channel is dwindling a little bit, and so now the mainstream media...
It's not, though, Jeremy. In 2 months, she's up to like 430,000 subscribers. What are you getting the idea that her channel is struggling from, Jeremy? Boy, I wish I had the amount of struggle that Brie Larson has on her YouTube channel. That'd be nice. 426,000 subscribers in 2 months. Funny about the tools of capitalism. The struggle. MMO Addicted, thank you for subscribing. Yay, 4 months, have an economics joke. There's a link. Oh yeah, I've seen this. The quote where the guy is like, by 2005 or so, it'll become clear that the internet's impact on the economy has been no greater than the fax machines. I think this guy has laughed at this since then. Like, he knows he effed up, obviously. He has a good sense of humor about it. And then thank you, JoeBot, for following.
Yeah, is picking up trying to revive it. You see this article on Polygon. Brie Larson's laid-back YouTube channel is a radical act of anti-troll defiance. Monetized. But
yeah, you're monetized too, Jeremy. Are we really? Is that where we're going to stake our flag on trying to delegitimize things? Jeremy, if monetization of what we do for a living is where we start to delegitimize something, then I have bad news, bud. You and I and everyone else on the internet who's providing entertainment to others, we're illegitimate. And frankly, we are, but, you know, for other reasons. Because we're all BSers. That's why we're illegitimate, not because we make money doing it. Daddy Sume with 10 bits. Also, Pavlov was horrifying, the awful stuff he did to the dogs when he was experimenting on surgically removing their stomachs, removing their jaws. It's horrifying. Yeah, that tracks. Guar Stoneskin with 40 bits. I took the day off, so now I can be somewhat interactive this time. Nice.
By the way, monetized. The Captain Marvel star followed celebrities to YouTube, but with a different approach. Yeah, maybe the lockdown has something to do with this. Now, I wondered, what a bizarre...
He's so mad! Why is he so mad? Like, Jeremy, like, Will Smith has a YouTube channel, and so does Jack Black. Kevin James has one. They're celebrity YouTube channels, right? Like, I find them to be a little bit ingenuine usually, and even Brie Larson's channel, especially your first video, because I did watch that, because Jeremy watched it, and I watched him watch it. I get it. There's a certain level of, like, celebrity, like, they're used to sort of being on, like, press junkets, and they're a little bit, like, wooden in how they're talking to the camera. I understand that. But at the end of the day, for, like, the Will Smith channel, or even for Brie Larson, because I said that's not, like, a channel that I enjoy that type of content that she does, like, I just don't watch them. I don't make 50 videos about them. Except for Jeremy, I guess. But that's because I think Jeremy's legitimately, like, A, fascinating, and B, harmful. It's the harm aspect that I think is the difference, whereas Brie Larson has never really harmed anyone. She's just, like, your typical, like, she's a really talented actress. She's won, did she win an Oscar for Room, or was it just a nomination? Either way, talented actress who basically said once, hey, we should get more, like, women and people of color in the movie review business. And then every white man whose only movie references are Star Wars freaked out and pooped their pants. And they haven't been normal since. It's so strange. MMO Addicted with 50 bits. He has, and yeah, Pavlov was bad, but I watched a video recently on the man who sewed dog heads onto living dogs, which was a breakthrough for transplantology, but yeah, I think that happened in the Soviet Union. Something.
What bizarre timing to write this Brie Larson article. Wonder why. Why is Polygon?
I don't know. I really don't, Jeremy. I mean, they're probably writing a lot of stuff. I don't go to Polygon. Let Let me go to Polygon. Polygon. Let's see. Polygon's recent articles. They got something about this. Jared Harris is the best Moriarty in any Sherlock Holmes movie. Okay, so they're talking about by the same merit. Why are they talking about Moriarty from Sherlock Holmes Game of Shadows that came out years ago? Like, Jeremy, they clearly are a website that just talks about different topics all the time. Like September 21st, like they just have tons of articles. Why are you surprised someone's talking about it? Jeremy, why are you surprised people are covering Brie Larson when you cover Brie Larson constantly? You've turned this into a circus so people click on things. I imagine the SEO for, like, Brie Larson is bananas. Like, I imagine that anyone who's trying to write any article to get clicks is like, oh yeah, I'll do Brie Larson because a bunch of chuds probably search Brie Larson 3 times a day because they have some weird incel vendetta against her. So you write a title with Brie Larson in the title, and you write a little article about it, and you get tons of clicks! Same reason you cover Brie Larson, Jeremy. MMO addicted. Yep, Soviet. The Americans replicated it with monkeys, and the Chinese are working on doing it with humans. Daddy Sume with 10 bits. Star Trek TNG had the best Moriarty. I will hear nothing else. Niles is the best butler in Moriarty. I like the Moriarty from Star Trek TNG, but he stops being Moriarty halfway through his first appearance. Because I feel like the minute he learns that he's like a holographic simulation and he realizes that he's not real, he kind of stops being Moriarty-ish for the most part. Like, the closest thing he gets is, I think, in his second appearance when he tricks... Spoilers for TNG Season 7, I think. When he gets brought back and he tricks Picard into thinking that he can walk off the holodeck just by force of will, but really, he just made a bigger holodeck simulation in the holodeck. That's pretty Moriarty-ish, but I don't know. I like Moriarty from the Sherlock show too, but boy, did that show go downhill after season 1 and 2. MMO addicted with 10 bits. The Chinese are working on a full head transplant, not making a human. Cerberus did a jump of logic. Yeah, I knew what you meant.
And other outlets simping for Brie Larson. Well, this might be why. Now, as you can see, I enjoyed the entirety of 39 Ways to Calm Down, and I left a like on the video. And I disavow people, dislike brigading.
I disavow, wink, wink, wink.
But you can see she started strong with 2.1 million viewers, 700,000. Then when she did her activism, nobody cared. Then she went to a video where she dropped it like it was hot, got back up to 1 million views. Then what should have been an excellent...
Jeremy, her videos on average are doing better than yours. If your claim is that Brie Larson's channel is, like, collapsing, then so is yours. Like, what? She's getting better average views per video than you. How is this a fail? And she has half the subscribers.
Video only got 200,000 views. Audition Storytime, this was also heavily shilled by the mainstream media. But, basically we went from 2 million.
It's Polygon, the mainstream media now. I think it's just like a nerd media website that most people haven't heard of. CNN, NBC, and Polygon. The 3 big hitters in the world of the mainstream media.
700,000, million. Now this one, 73,000 views. Not very good.
Yeah, Jeremy, it's a new video. That's how that works. Like, let's see, when you clicked on that. Jeremy, it has 73,000 views, and it hadn't even been out for a full day. Now it's up higher than that. That's how it works. Like, especially channels that, YouTube's algorithm takes into account how many videos you're putting out per day. So for someone like Jeremy, when he puts out a video, the vast majority of the views for that video are going to come in the first 24 hours. Probably even front-loaded in the first 5 or 6 hours of it being out, and then it's going to go down. because YouTube knows that Jeremy puts out 6-7 videos a day, which is fine. I do the same. And it's going to put those into people's subscriber feeds. But they're going to be treated a little more throwaway. In the sense that, like, a week from now, the video you put out yesterday, since you've put out, like, 30 videos since that video is probably not going to show up in people's feeds. But if you put out one video a week, like Brie Larson, and I know this because not only do I do this channel, which is on Twitch right now, but I also put it on my YouTube channel where I put up, like, 5 or 6 videos a day because I put out the full stream and then I cut it up into each individual segment for the stream. So I do that, which is very in the style of the Quartering, where he has a bunch of videos a day. And I also have like an 8-year history on Hannah and Jake, the other channel that I do with actual Jake here on Twitch. We put out 1 video a week roughly on there. So YouTube treats these kind of channels differently. So if you're Brie Larson and you put out 1 video per week, YouTube is going to put your video out, and most of your views aren't necessarily going to come in the first 24 hours because YouTube recognizes, oh, this person puts out 1 video a week. They're not cluttering up people's feeds. So it'll be in people's recommended feeds longer. It'll be treated as less of a throwaway video than Jeremy's or I's because we put out so much content it balances out in the end. You know what I mean? So Jeremy, don't compare the way she gets views to the way you or I get views on our channel, because they're treated differently. And we looked at Brie Larson's channel. The thing has, let's see, it's up to 132,000, so it's got 60,000 more views from the last time he watched it. Like, this is how it works for channels that put out less content. Typically, as long as it's regular, they get views, but they get them over a longer period of time. Whereas Jeremy, if you don't see one of Jeremy's videos in the first 1 or 2 days, you're probably not going to see it unless you directly go to his channel and look for all of his videos.
This one, 73,000 views. Not very good. Now, the channel has 423,000 subscribers. So as a percentage, that's actually not horrible. It's like 20% of our total subscribers.
That's pretty darn good. Like, again, it's got 130 something now, or 120. I forgot already. I know I just looked at it. But it's got like 120 or so. Okay. 132,000. So that's a quarter of the audience of her subscribers going to see the video. That's pretty darn good. Like, I've been part of channels where you get like 10%. Jeremy has videos where he gets 10%. Like, especially if you're putting out a ton of content, that's going to be lower. But considering she puts out a video about once a week, if she's averaging 100,000 to 200,000 views, that's pretty good considering her subscriber count. Jeremy trying to, like, spin this in a way to make it look like her channel's doing poorly is hilarious. Jeremy, she has almost 500,000 subscribers in 2 months. She's going to eclipse you by the end of next year. And it's gonna be amazing.
Subscriber base.
Super Mario Sunshine sucks? How dare you, first of all? No. Super Mario Sunshine is fantastic, and I don't say that just because it's the first Mario game I really played through, or because it was the one I played when I was young. Clearly it's objectively right, and there's nothing bad about it, even though you have to do shine sprites in certain orders, and they got rid of the long jump, and it's a shorter game that has a lot of padding. It's perfect. How dare you?
But it's been pretty interesting now that the press has, if you notice, this has definitely...
The press. Jeremy's citation for the press was 1 Polygon article.
Flattened out in terms of how the channel growth has been, because, you know, quite honestly... the press stopped shilling for it.
God, why do I even care? Hold on. Social Blade Brie Larson. Brie Larson's channel. Oh, we don't have a ton because, oh yeah, she's only been up for 2 months, so we have almost no data. She's gone so quick, they don't even have data. That's helpful. Live subscriber count 426,000 subscribers. I wonder if we can like actually see any movement in any amount of time because it's such a, you know, relatively big channel. The environments in Sunshine you like the most. The tropical setting works really well. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I like Mario Sunshine, but yeah, it's not great in terms of, like, if I had to compare it to Mario 64 and Odyssey, like, Odyssey's the best one. And I like 64, but I just have a hard time playing it because some of it's a little outdated. But I have a nostalgic, spot for Sunshine. Future projections. Let's see when they think. So according to this, within probably 7 months, Brie Larson, if her subscriber count continues to grow roughly the same as it is today. Let's even say that it's off. Let's double the amount of time. 7. So let's say within 14 months or so, she will eclipse Jeremy. And my God, the video that's going to happen when that happens. What do you think the chances are that Jeremy puts out a video when she like eclipses him in subscriber count? And that will happen at some point if he doesn't get banned before then. I'm always wondering if he's going to get banned because he's basically harassing her. Even though he says, like, I distance myself from people who harass her. Come on. What was I going to say? Oh, the video he's going to make when she does get more subscribers than him is going to be glorious. Because I think he's going to do it in a way that's snarky, and I think he thinks it's going to make him look good, and he thinks it's going to be funny. But really, it's going to be seething with this just under the surface layer of salt. That's going to be fantastic. Can you imagine the video? He'll be like, I just want to give congratulations to Brie Larson, stunning and brave, who has eclipsed me, and he'll think being sarcastic means that he's, like, not mad, when really he's, like, super duper mad. That's gonna be good. I feel like that's gonna be Chud Watch Hall of Fame material when that happens.
I don't know why this went away, but you could see the views also down significantly from where they were. So this is Polygon's attempt to boost up her YouTube channel again. I wonder if Brie's...
Jeremy, is you making a video about Brie Larson an attempt to boost up her channel? No, people make videos about Brie Larson and people write articles about her because she gets talked about all the time for stupid reasons, in my opinion, but they do nonetheless.
PR team had anything to do with that. 2020, it's hardly a shocking story when a seemingly random, formerly unknown person achieves astronomical success via Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. Names like don't care about any of these losers casually show up in the news cycle alongside politicians and entertainment juggernauts for the respective controversies and intercommunal beefs with little to no explanation of how they became to be the most influential human beings on the planet. Well, they're not influential for anyone who cares.
Jeremy, you're on YouTube. Come on.
You care.
Like, I get it. It sounds silly to say that, like, let's look at the people on this list. To say that Logan Paul or Jake or James Charles or Shane Dawson, to say any of these people are some of the most influential people on the planet. But, like, to certain age groups, they are. They have a huge audience. Like, having outreach to younger people is having influence. And you don't have to like Jake or Logan Paul or any of the people on this list. I don't particularly. But it doesn't change the fact that they're incredibly influential. Ugh.
About important topics, you don't listen to James Charles or Tati Westbrook or Jeffree Star.
Jeremy, you're 40 years old. Of course you don't. And I'm in my 20s. Of course I don't. They're not talking about us, Jeremy. What does Jeremy not understand about the fact that he hasn't been the key demographic for anything for like 20 years, and it's like he never got that memo. Like, hey, Jeremy, did you know that most mass media entertainment isn't directed at you anymore, and they don't care if you like it because you're not the target demo? And it's like he never figured that out. It's very strange.
Or Shane Dawson. These people are all some of the most egotistical...
Oh, did I miss a bit message? Hold on, sorry. Oh, yeah, I did miss one. I apologize for that. Let me see if I can go find it. Tristo1360. Hi, Hannah. Just wanted to say that I've given up trying to sleep due to my mind racing with thoughts about my life, and Ustream is helping me deal with that. Well, I hope you're able to sleep soon. That must be exhausting.
garbage humans on the planet. Tana Mojo. I mean, are you kidding me? Logan Paul. This is like a who's who of who I wouldn't let my kids watch.
Okay, Jeremy, that doesn't change the fact that they're some of the most popular creators on the platform. They're not saying that, like, they like these people. They're talking about their astronomical success, which is objectively true. Like, dude, do you think you're someone that, like, parents want their kids to watch either? It's just weird. Weird all around.
On the other hand, it's less common for a more mind-boggling and fascinating when an A-list celebrity embraced the comparatively ephemeral world of selfies, notes app, apologies, internet challenges. No, I don't think so. In the world of celebrity worship, of course they're all going to have YouTube channels. This is actively sought out by YouTube. YouTube is courting these people. But what stands out
I really don't know about that one, Jeremy. Like, I absolutely think that a lot of celebrities will continue to do stuff on YouTube because it's like any social media platform. It's a way to get involved with your fan base on a more, not one-to-one basis, but it's more parasocial than just watching someone in a movie, or even like when you just tweet someone, because it tweets text and it's not real time. Whereas YouTube, you can do live streams, although you can also do that on Twitch, but YouTube allows you to actually see someone produce content that's for you. You being the general audience, not you the individual, but nonetheless it feels like you, and that's how a parasocial relationship works. Like, I understand that, but that doesn't mean YouTube is literally going out to Brie Larson and being like, hey, we're YouTube, Brie Larson's agent, would you like to have Brie Larson come on YouTube? Like, you have no evidence of that, Jeremy. If that were the case, if, like, every other celebrity were coming and making a YouTube channel, maybe I'd think you had something, or maybe I'd think that there was something going on, or maybe I'd think if there was evidence to that fact, but there isn't. There isn't, Jeremy. Just because one person you don't like made a YouTube channel doesn't mean there's some conspiracy where YouTube got on the phone and was like, hello, Brie Larson's agent, this is YouTube. Jeremy over at the quartering really hates her. Will you have her come and make a YouTube channel just because he hates her? It's silly. Daddy Sume, no, Hannah, you make content for me. I know the messages you are sending me from your looks. I get it. Well, I guess.
In the midst of all this is Brie Larson's remarkably chill YouTube channel. Here's a link to her YouTube channel to subscribe. In her first video...
Dude, like, people link to people's YouTube channel. Like, look at, there's multiple links in the paragraph that you're talking about. Like, friendo... If you're talking about a specific YouTube channel, like even if they were talking about you, Jeremy, they'd probably provide a link to your YouTube channel. That's how articles work on the internet.
Video posted back in July, the 30-year-old Captain Marvel actress says YouTube has been a learning opportunity for her. Whether it's been how to use my printer or watching how to be a considerate activist, this is the place to talk about things that are important and that matter. Since her 20-minute long introduction to YouTube, Larson has posted 10 videos. Each check a box for the typical requirements of a career lifestyle vlogger these days. Virtual healthy cooking tutorial, tour of Animal Crossing, amusing storyline. Yeah, it's nothing unique. Yet you're pretending that it's super unique.
What's unique is that she's like an Oscar-winning actress, Jeremy. You get that? Okay.
Nevertheless, Larson has always managed to shake the table enough to become an incessant point of contention for angry white male sectors of the internet over the past few years.
Yeah, they're talking about you. Yeah, see, you got a name drop, Jeremy. Wouldn't it be hilarious if they did link to Jeremy in the article after they said that, and then he'd have to contend with the hypocrisy that he was like, oh, of course they linked to her channel, they're promoting her, but then they like linked to him too. That would have been funny. One sec, let me turn the fan on.
Well, I mean, look, I honestly can't think of a worse inflection point for her popularity than when she said, and I quote,
here he goes. He's about to misquote her. Are you ready?
I don't care what some 40-year-old white guy thinks about my movie.
She wasn't talking about No, wait, what? She was talking about, what's it called? A Wrinkle in Time, I think, Jeremy. And I don't think she cares what some 40-year-old white dude thinks about Captain Marvel. Why would she? You're not the target demographic. He's so mad that this woman, who has won an Oscar, doesn't give a shit about what he thinks. And my God, the salt is delicious. I just want to, if I could take Jeremy's tears, like, take out the moisture and just have the salt and put them on my French fries, 5-star, 3-star Michelin meal, I'm all for it. He's just so mad that for once in his life, someone said to his face on the internet, hey, maybe your opinion on this particular thing that wasn't made for you doesn't matter. Oh my God! My opinion doesn't matter on a movie made for little girls? I'm 40 years old and a white man! My opinion always matters! Jeremy, your opinion doesn't matter all the time. My opinion doesn't matter all the time. There are tons of situations where a certain particular group of people, or even individuals, that their opinion doesn't matter. I know you haven't been told that a lot growing up, and I know you think your opinion matters anytime a thought pops into your stupid balding head. But no, not the case.
I think she named the movie. I forget what it was now. So she fired the first salvo.
Oh, I missed some bit messages because I was standing up. Maya's bored. Hannah, your pants. I want them. Thank you. And then Wind Chanter had a link that I missed. Let me go find the link. Oh, yeah. I actually... You're not going to believe this. I literally have this already queued up. See? You can't... It's hard to tell because... But you can see... It's already in one of my tabs. That's what we were going to watch a little bit later.
Right? That's why people don't like her. I mean, I find her acting mediocre in the Marvel films, but she's got decent chops. I wouldn't have ever talked about Brie Larson.
I wouldn't have talked about her, but she said my opinion didn't matter once, and my opinion always matters. My mommy told me so. Daddy Sume with, oh God, I'm assuming that's a clip of me screaming about pretending to be, yeah, my opinion always matters. Nice.
If she didn't constantly say disparaging things about white men.
Constantly saying disparaging things, aka one time she told me my opinion didn't matter in a movie that didn't, like, wasn't made for me. Constantly saying Remember when Brie Larson marched into the streets with her army of feminists and said, "Kill all straight white men"? No? Oh, I guess that didn't happen. I guess one time on a press junket she just said, hey, we need more women and people of color in the movie review industry. And maybe a 40-year-old white man's opinion on a movie made for, like, people of color or little girls. Maybe their opinion doesn't really matter here. Boy, it would sure be embarrassing if someone blew that way out of proportion and made 60 videos about her after that. Tristo1360, I am Jeremy. I am the center of the universe.
Well, I won't say constantly. There's been a few spicy takes. And really, if you look at my last 4 or 5 videos on the topic, I've been very complimentary of Brie Larson. I mean, look, she said that one thing that was very dumb, in my opinion.
Okay, get ready, Jeremy. I'm about to have a spicy take.
I mean, look, she said that one thing that was very dumb, in my opinion.
Spicy take, Jeremy. Your opinion doesn't matter here either.
But, you know, it's more about idiots that write these type of articles. Simping for Hollywood. Is there something with the far left? And
They're just writing an article about Brie Larson because it gets clicks, Jeremy. You're literally falling into their SEO trap. Also, can I just point out that this means that either Jeremy has, like, an RSS feed alert that's like, there's a new article about Brie Larson, read this, and he, like, found this. Or one of his fans does, or spends time literally Googling Brie Larson every day. And they were like, there's a new article someone wrote about Brie Larson. Better send this to Jeremy. Like, Jeremy, you're literally doing what the person who wrote this article intended you to do. You used that sweet, sweet SEO juice, clicked on the link, and then you're bitching about it, which is going to make more people go and click on the article. You did it, Jeremy. You did a capitalism. Good job.
And the celebrity worship that needs to be researched and understood. That's why her venture into YouTube may have been more strategic, or at least more meaningful, than it seems at face value. It's hard to pinpoint an exact moment Larson became a celebrity target for mean Twitter trolls. Her several public acts of feminism seem like easy bait, from embracing survivors and all sorts of crap like that.
Yeah.
But her acceptance speech at the Women in Film, yeah, see, exactly, and Lucy Award, where she called for more diversity, that's not what she said.
That is literally what she said, Jeremy. She said, we want more diversity in the film review industry and in the film industry in general, because we have reviewers who are like 40, 50-year-old white dudes reviewing movies that aren't made with their view in mind because it's not made for them. That's what was said, Jeremy. What do you guys think? Has Jeremy gone back and listened verbatim to what Brie Larson said there since, 3 years ago or whenever that happened? Like, or has the memory been completely replaced at this point in his mind? Because obviously the second he heard it, it offended him because someone told him his opinion didn't matter on one very specific thing. So his angry brain replaces that. Does he think, like, she got up in front of those people and was like, by the way, all straight white men are awful and we should purge them from the industry? Like, has his memory been completely messed up? Does he not realize what she actually said at this point? Never, absolutely not. He cannot go back. Yeah.
What she said was, I do not need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about A Wrinkle in Time.
Yes. This is the sentence that launched 1,000 angry white 40-year-old man YouTube videos. Think about that. Really think about how pathetic that is. I'll read the quote again. I don't need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about A Wrinkle in Time. And that's enough for Jeremy and all the Jeremy mini-me's out there to make hundreds of videos about her and make up rumors about how, everyone in the Marvel cast hates her, and she's the worst, she's like white woman Hitler. Like, think about this. One sentence where she just said, hey, you're not the target demographic for this thing. Why do you think you need to voice your opinion on this when it wasn't even made for you? And their heads all popped. It's wild.
That's not calling for more inclusion. That's calling for exclusion.
Jeremy, you should be excluded from talking about A Wrinkle in Time. Yeah, that'd be great. Can we exclude Jeremy from YouTube? That'd be good.
And her name quickly became a trigger for incels and alt-right trolls whose anger at her led to a smear campaign against Captain Marvel last year.
They're talking about you, Jeremy. Ooh, click on the link. Do you think it's Jeremy? Do you think the link is Jeremy? Hold on. Polygon Brie Larson. Let me see if that link, because I don't know if he'll click the link. I'm curious if the link is him. A smear campaign against Captain Marvel a year later. How Brie Larson's Captain Marvel made white men lose their damn minds. Does this mention the quartering? Brie Larson's casting as the superhero Captain Marvel sparked controversy from the start through 2016, blah, 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 blah. Comic series, debate double standards, blah, blah, blah. Oscar-winning actress, helped Brie Larson's persona. In the meantime, is being associated with, she famously refused to clap for accused sexual harasser Casey Affleck on stage at the Oscars, calls for more diversity in film press. Boop, 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 boo. I just want to see if they actually mention the quartering, like, by name. Or if they, you know. Gamergate established the playbook. Matthew blah, blah, noted on Twitter. Tweets parroting this point abound. Kill all men. Distortion of what Larson actually said to Marie Claire in the name of assuming victimhood for all white men. Oh, I don't think they're going to actually mention the quartering. That's sad. Let's normalize calling the quartering out more specifically. Can we do that? That'd be great.
Funny about the tools of capitalism.
Control F, Hannah. Oh, I know I can search, but I don't think they mention the quartering. Control F, the quartering. Jeremy. No, they don't mention him. Normalize calling him out. Please.
How do you know the race of everybody who didn't like the movie, by the way?
How much do you want to bet Jeremy is leaving context out of I don't need 40-year-old white men, yada, 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 yada? He is. She said more than that, too. Jeremy, they're not talking about everyone who didn't like the movie. They're talking about people like you. And again, you don't have to like Captain Marvel. You don't have to like the Marvel movies. Like, I totally get it if you don't. And you don't have to like Captain Marvel either. I liked it, but you don't have to. It's not about not liking it, Jeremy. It's about making 40 videos on how you think it's going to be the worst Marvel movie of all time and being like, get woke, go broke, and then looking like an idiot when it's like the 23rd highest grossing movie of all time and it makes over $1 billion. It's not about not liking the movie. You can not like the movie, Jeremy. That's fine. You can not like any movie. You can not like A Wrinkle in Time if you choose to watch it, but that's not the point. You've missed the point entirely. It's about when we're talking about, like, critical reviews of something, thinking to yourself, and this is true in any aspect of life, any single aspect of life, think about it. Before you get up and you start saying, like, I should voice my opinion to other people, consider, is my opinion useful? And in the case of something like, I don't know, something with like feminist messaging or messaging that has to do with like points of view of people of color that you don't share the experiences of, so you might not understand, could you voice your opinion? Sure, you have freedom of speech, you can do whatever you want, but what of value is it adding to the conversation? Because when we're talking about things in the media, especially when we're talking about like professional reviews, it's a game of, what's the word I'm thinking of? It's a zero-sum game where there are only so many voices that are going to be heard on certain topics, and do we need another 40-year-old white man sharing his opinion on something that has nothing to do with him? That's what's being discussed here, Jeremy. You can like or dislike anything you want. I don't care. No one cares. They care when people are talking about, like, I don't know, Captain Marvel or Wonder Woman for that matter. Movies that are about female superheroes, or even something like Black Panther, which is a movie that's this huge blockbuster, tentpole, cinematic universe Marvel movie that stars a cast and is directed by people of color. Like, having another white guy share his opinion on how, I don't know, Black Panther just didn't work for them, or they felt it was just another Marvel movie, like, you're kind of missing a huge part of the point for the people who the movie was kind of made for. Not that you can't enjoy Captain Marvel or Black Panther as like a white dude. Of course you can. They're entertaining movies. But what I'm saying is they have more significance to different groups of people than your typical Marvel movie. And that's the difference. And that's why your opinion in this particular matter is not as important.
You know, that's what's, you know, it's, here's the thing. You get Melissa Leon that writing this headline does not help Brie Larson. It makes people dislike her.
Pointing out that I made 60 videos on Brie Larson and how I read and freaked out doesn't make me introspect. It just makes me hate her more.
You're doing this to own the dudes, but you're hurting Brie Larson's reputation.
Call me out on being a ridiculous toxic person. Well, guess what? I'm just gonna be more toxic. Ha ha!
Like, you get that, right? Members of the gamer comic book film community seem particularly obsessed with touting a theory that her Avengers castmates disliked her. I have a clip of her correcting Chris Hemsworth on a comment made for her performing her own stunts in an interview went viral. Wait, what video is this? Oh.
Literally doing the thing that they're describing in the article. He's about to do it. Does Jeremy even know what self-reflection is?
Oh, it's the original video. I was hoping it was my video. One edited version of the video, hyperbolically titled, Chris Hemsworth calls out Brie Larson, has 1.6 million views. Another video that is similarly dissected, one where Jeremy Renner turns his head and Brie Larson answers a
Cherry Tree Boy, thanks for subscribing for 2 months. Appreciate it.
question about the responsibility that comes with her role of Captain Marvel. And in pure incel fashion, there are a slew of creepy videos examining her dress. Oh, is it mine? I know they see them. Oh. You picked this one? I mean, I don't get it. What's this one? Come on. Geeks and Gamers, hey, congratulations. It makes sense that Larson would want to counter the overwhelmingly hostile, gross press she receives from YouTube by creating her own original content. Although she claims she's never Googled herself and doesn't have time for addressing trolls online, her presence on the platform still reads as a purposeful reclamation of a space that's been so fraught for her career and will continue to be as Captain Marvel series continues as long as she remains outspoken. No, it's not that she speaks out.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. And I'm not saying, I'm not being Jeremy, I'm not doing a conspiracy theory, but I could see a situation where Brie Larson's agent, and bear in mind, SEO is important. SEO is search engine optimization. And if you're in any sort of marketing, whether you're someone's agent or whether you're marketing a product or a service for a company, you want, when someone Googles your name, for positive things to come up. And Brie Larson's name has been so maligned by people like Jeremy and Geeks and Gaming and all sorts of different people on the internet that I imagine when you Google Brie Larson, at least previously, it might be a little better now, I imagine it was nothing but ridiculous slander and smear videos from people like Jeremy. So it wouldn't surprise me if Brie Larson's agent said, alright Brie, when we Google your name, it's a bunch of dumb 40-year-old white weirdos freaking out about the existence of yourself. So what we're going to do is you're going to do a YouTube channel. So when people Google Brie Larson, your channel comes up. That wouldn't surprise me. And I don't think there'd be anything underhanded or sneaky about that. It's literally being in the business of being a personality that sells themselves in terms of a performance. Being an actor or actress. That would be fine. But, like, ironically, it would be a situation in which Jeremy created this situation. He and people like him basically would have forced Brie Larson's hand in having a larger online presence when their initial goal was to silence her. And I find that so juicy. The idea that it's possible that if it weren't for, like, the 60 Brie Larson videos Jeremy has done, that she might not be online as much as she currently is. It's like a monkey's paw situation. Like, Jeremy wished, like, I wish I could drag Brie Larson's name through the mud, and the monkey's paw goes, and then he does so successfully for quite a while, but it forces her to come to the forefront of the internet and get a channel that gets bigger than his over time.
It's that she... It's what she's...
Funny about the tools of capitalism.
Is this whole situation just one giant Streisand effect? Streisand effect is like when someone tries to silence a bad opinion about themselves, or like a video that makes them look bad, and it makes them, that video or that take, bigger. So no, that's not this situation. I don't even know what you would call this, where you try and silence someone else, but in doing so, you just make them louder. I don't know if there's a word for that.
Said, see how this, the framing of this article is written by somebody who agrees. Like, we need more diversity by actively excluding people. That whole mind.
Jeremy, it's not about actively excluding, but at the end of the day, careers like movie reviewership, we're talking in the professional sphere, whether we're talking for writing for things like newspapers or the internet or whatever, unless you're talking about literally just reviewing stuff online that anyone can do for free on YouTube or whatever, or if you get your own like website, then we're talking about a zero-sum game when there are only so many professional movie reviewer and movie interviewer positions. So right now what we have is a situation where the industry has an overrepresentation of white dudes, right? It's not about removing people. It's about moving forward, making sure that the demographics of people that are being hired into those positions are more in line with the demographics of the real world. That's what it is, Jeremy. Like, yeah, does that mean that in the future there might be fewer white dudes getting into positions of movie reviewership or whatever? Sure, but that's fine. We're talking about making sure that people who are like people of color or women who are qualified to do the job, who maybe in the past wouldn't have been allowed into such positions because, again, sexism or racism, making sure that those demographics have voices in the industry. That's what we're talking about. It's not about going into someone's office and saying, well, Craig, I hate to break it to you, but white men are canceled, so pack your bags and get out. That's not what's being discussed, Jeremy. It's about when positions become open for some of these things, considering people outside of what we typically get in the movie reviewer industry. Obowan with 100 bits. Let's just coin it the Jeremy effect or the quartering effect as the opposite of the Streisand effect. Yeah, sure. Irony, says Daddy Sume. And Captain Seculoid. Sup, Hannah, take my money and get defunded. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate it.
Set. Just be.
Who's funding the quartering? He's funding himself. He makes a bunch of money with the channel, or at least he used to. He also has a day job, so.
Being on YouTube.
Not to mention, Jeremy's videos, very little expense. All he has to do is he has this setup, which I don't know, I think he paid someone to make, you know, different overlays and stuff, which is something that happens, you know. I have just a package, like with all this purple stuff and all the moving stuff. This just came with, like, Streamlabs Pro or whatever the paid version is. So, like, theoretically, you could go and make this exact same setup for your own stream. I don't own any of this. Someday I might get a personalized one made, and I might pay someone to put a little package together of, like, stuff like this. But that's what Jeremy does. So that's his expense. He has an expense of a camera, and that's it. That's the only expenses that go into making his videos. And even if he gets, like, demonetized, not completely, he probably gets put limited ads. Even so, he gets hundreds of thousands of views on a lot of his videos, so he probably gets paid pretty well for this. I don't know if he has a Patreon as well, but I think he has merchandise and stuff.
YouTube is a radical act for Brie Larson. Being there in a relaxed, personal, honest way is an act of self-defiance. Everyone who's tried to tear her down, stunning and brave.
I mean, Jeremy, you're literally making your, like, 70th video on her, kinda, and you continue to try and harass her off the platform. So, yeah, like, unironically, it's kinda hilarious how much her just being here triggers you. It's pretty amazing, and I kind of love it.
Stunning and brave. Worship Brie Larson, multi-millionaire, ultra-powerful Hollywood celebrity, needs you.
I'd honestly, Jeremy, is Jeremy a multimillionaire? Social Blade, the quartering. We looked this up a little earlier, but I don't remember.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Social Blade. Social Blade, the quartering. Estimated monthly earnings between 4.6 thousand and 74,000. I don't know. At his peak, he might have been making a lot of money. I don't know what he did with that money or if he just bought a house with it. I don't know. It seems like at his peak, he could have been making pretty decent dough. So if we're going to talk about, like, the validity of people based on the money they make, we can do that. Jeremy, if you want to join me, comrade, and talk about the evils of people having over a certain amount of money and how that's harmful to society, please. But don't use it as a disingenuous tactic to silence someone whose political opinions you don't like.
Kindle.
Tucker White 94, don't be modest, Hannah. We all know George Soros, blessed his name, is funding your operations to destroy capitalism and straight white men. I wish. Please, George Soros, give me a call. I will take your money.
Doll Cunningham to simp for her and
He probably got wrecked by the demonetization thing. Probably. It wouldn't surprise me.
advertise her YouTube channel.
Does he have like a subscribe star or something? Parlor. Oh god, he has a politics channel. Gross. Oh yeah, Midwestly. I forgot this exists. Oh god. Jeremy on politics. I guess I need to save that so we can start looking at that at some point. Oh god, Parlor. Yeah, it's like right-wing Twitter, basically. As far as I know, I'm not touching that.
Brie Larson, who doesn't care about you. This celebrity worship is hilarious, and it comes at a time that's very curious when her channel growth has basically leveled off. Hey, I wish her the best. I want Brie Larson to continue making videos. I want her to thrive on YouTube. At least she's not making stupid behind the scenes. So here's a bunch of my celebrity friends videos like some other A-listers out there. But let's ease up. You're not helping Brie. You're hurting her with these articles. You get
no, they're not. Look, you are providing also clicks for her channel. You get that, right, Jeremy? It's so weird that he's like, stop writing positive articles about Brie Larson because then I'll make videos about her, which will hurt her. He's basically playing the stop hitting yourself game. Stop hitting yourself when he's the one. Whatever.
Get that, right? I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.
God, Jeremy is pathetic.
Nothing funny about capitalism.
It just hit me. Jeremy's crossed over into Brett Keane territory. I haven't really watched Brett Keane, so I'm not familiar, but yeah, it's sad. It's sad. It really is. You know, I wish Jeremy would just stop. Just stop, Jeremy. Please stop. Anyway.